Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we take sources, extract the real nuggets of knowledge, and basically give you a shortcut to being well-informed. Today, we're diving into e-commerce psychology. It's all about understanding human behavior and how that can genuinely transform your online sales. We'll look at strategic tools, data-driven stuff, and even how maybe a well-timed chuckle could lead to some pretty serious sales.
It really is about peeling back the layers, isn't it? Understanding why people click buy and maybe just as importantly, why they sometimes don't. We're going to connect those dots between, say, conversion strategies backed by data and the, well, often surprising power of emotional connection.
Okay, sounds fascinating. And just before we jump right in, a quick heads up. This deep dive is powered by Growth Suite. If you're looking to run smart discount campaigns on your store, the kind that actually increase your sales, Growth Suite helps you do exactly that. You can test it totally free on your Shopify store. Just search Growth Suite on the Shopify App Store now and give it a whirl. Okay, let's unpack this. So let's kick off with a big one. A challenge many online businesses are wrestling with: those frustratingly low conversion rates and abandoned carts. What's the data actually telling us here? How big is this problem?
Well, the scale it's pretty staggering, actually. You look at the average Shopify conversion rate, it's hovering around, 1.3 to 1.4%. That's quite a bit below the general industry standard, which is more like 2.5 to 4%.
Wow, okay. So
Yeah.
quite a gap there.
A huge gap. And then you've got cart abandonment. Get this. A massive 70% of shopping carts just get left behind. We're talking about something like $260 billion in sales, potentially recoverable sales, each year. And this isn't just lost money, right? It's a real pain point, especially when you factor in customer acquisition costs jumping, like 222% over 8 years.
222%. That's
Yeah.
huge. So all that money just sitting there, it really raises the question then, how do smart merchants tackle this conversion crisis without just, throwing discounts at absolutely everyone who visits?
Exactly. And this is where understanding visitor behavior becomes absolutely crucial. There are tools now that can meticulously track pretty much every interaction someone has on your site. We're talking product views, how long they stay, what they add to the cart if they start checkout, all of it. The goal really is to find out precisely where in that sales funnel people are dropping off.
Okay, so you identify the weak spots in the funnel. You know where they're leaving. Then what? What's the move?
Well, connecting this to the bigger picture, it's about predicting purchase intent. By analyzing all those behavioral patterns, a system can start to tell the difference between, let's call them dedicated buyers, the ones who are super likely to buy anyway, and others who might be just browsing or maybe a bit hesitant.
Okay, so you separate the likely buyers from the maybes.
Precisely. And that allows for these highly targeted, time-limited discount offers.
Hmm.
But here's the key. You only give them to those identified as less likely to purchase right away. And crucially, only after they've shown real engagement, like spending significant time on a page or adding something to their cart. This way, you avoid training customers to just wait for a discount every single time.
Ah, right. So it's smart. It's not just a generic pop-up hitting everyone. It's truly personalized and temporary. Tell me more about that time-limited aspect. How does that actually work reliably?
It's absolutely vital. And the clever part is the reliability. When an offer like this gets triggered for a specific user,
Yeah.
a unique single-use discount code is automatically generated just for them and applied straight to their cart. Then there's this really accurate countdown timer that shows up. It's engineered to be spot on, stays consistent even if you refresh the page or switch tabs. That creates a genuine, reliable sense of urgency.
Okay, reliable urgency. I like that.
And once that timer hits 0, poof, the unique code is automatically deleted from the back-end system. The whole thing, code creation, application, deletion, it's all handled seamlessly on the server side. No smoke and mirrors.
That sounds pretty sophisticated. So what does this actually mean for the merchant's bottom line? What kind of results can someone expect from this kind of precision targeting?
The impact can be pretty significant. We're seeing merchants get like a 30 to 50% uplift in their conversion rates,
Hmm.
and they can recover maybe 25 to 35% of those previously abandoned
It's
carts.
substantial.
It really is. But beyond that, it's about strategic discount optimization. Because the system knows who the dedicated buyers are, it avoids giving them unnecessary discounts. That protects your profit margins. Discounts get calibrated. So a low-intent buyer might get a slightly bigger nudge, maybe a higher discount, while a high-intent buyer gets a smaller one, or maybe none at all. You minimize that unnecessary margin erosion. And this directly tackles that pain point of rising acquisition costs by just getting more value from the traffic you already have.
That's really powerful, maximizing existing traffic. And sounds like it's not just about nailing that initial sale, is it? What about encouraging customers to, spend a bit more once they've actually committed to buying something?
That raises a really important point. How do you maximize the value of every single customer? And that's where things like post-purchase upsell funnels come into play. So imagine this. A customer completes their purchase, clicks buy. But before they hit the standard thank you page, they're presented with a one-time exclusive offer, maybe an additional product related to what they just bought at a special price.
Ah, okay. Catching them while their wallet's already out, essentially.
Kinda, yeah. And it's designed to be super smooth, frictionless, one-click acceptance, no need to re-enter payment details, no shipping info again. It makes it incredibly easy to just add it to the order they just completed. Merchants can even set up some pretty advanced logic based on the original order contents, so the system can intelligently suggest the upsell product that has the highest chance of being accepted.
Wow. That sounds like an incredibly comprehensive approach, almost like enterprise-level strategy, but maybe more accessible. Who typically benefits most from these kinds of tools?
It is, yeah. It brings that level of sophistication down. The ideal customer, for these kinds of solutions, they might be doing maybe $500,000 to $5 billion a year in revenue, often have a small team, 5 to 25 employees perhaps. They're actively investing in growth, but maybe don't have a huge in-house tech team. They're struggling with that conversion gap we talked about. Their store's performance isn't quite meeting industry standards. So solutions that offer those big league results, but with small business simplicity, like, say, a 60-second no-code setup, seamless mobile optimization, those are critical. They want to see measurable ROI fast, like within 30, maybe 60 days.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Let's pivot a bit now. We've talked data, funnels, optimization. Let's shift gears to something maybe a bit more human. Humor. We often think of e-commerce as being very transactional, very functional. How does humor actually fit into this picture?
Well, what's fascinating here is this shift, this move away from just transactional buying towards something more experiential. Today's consumers, they really want to feel connected to the brands they buy from. And humor. It's one of the best bridges for building that connection. The numbers really support this too. Something like 61% of consumers say they're likely to share content that makes them laugh.
61%? Wow.
Yeah. And get this. Content with humor is apparently remembered 22 times more effectively than just standard marketing messages. It builds those emotional ties, it fosters trust, and it humanizes your brand, makes it feel less corporate.
Okay, let's unpack that. Why? Why does humor work so well? What's actually happening inside our brains when we laugh at, say, a funny product description online?
The answer really goes deep into our cognitive processes. There are a couple of main theories. One is the incongruity theory. Basically, unexpected twists, things that surprise us, make us laugh. Think of a clever punchline in a product description where you didn't expect one. Then there's relief theory. This suggests humor provides a kind of psychological relief from tension, like maybe the slight anxiety some customers feel when they're trying to decide whether to make a purchase or not. A little humor can ease that.
I can definitely see that little bit of anxiety before hitting confirm purchase. So humor eases it. What about the chemical side?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a chemical reaction. When something makes us laugh, our brain releases dopamine. That's the feel-good neurotransmitter. It creates pleasure, reinforces the behavior. It also reduces cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and it produces oxytocin, sometimes called the trust hormone or bonding hormone. So this whole neurochemical cocktail creates these lasting positive feelings associated with your brand.
Dopamine, less stress, more trust. Sounds like a winning formula.
Exactly. Think about some classic campaigns. Like Harmon Brothers, what they did for Squatty Potty or Poopery. Okay. They used really clever, sometimes edgy humor to talk about subjects that could be kind of embarrassing, right? And it led to massive viral success, huge sales growth, because they made people laugh and broke down barriers.
Right. Those were brilliant. So this raises an important question. Where can businesses actually use this? Is it just for big, flashy marketing campaigns? Or can you weave it in elsewhere?
Oh, it can be integrated pretty much everywhere along the customer journey. Your product pages themselves are prime real estate. Think about quirky descriptions. Instead of just water bottle, Maybe it's a mighty vessel that holds enough water to keep you from turning into a human raisin during your workout.
Yeah.
Little touches like that. Humorous product videos are huge too. Like Dollar Shave Club's original launch video, that thing went mega viral and really helped build $1 billion company in the back of humor and personality.
That video is legendary. Okay, so product pages, videos, where else? What other touch points?
Well, marketing and advertising, obviously, that's a natural fit. Using memes, pop culture references if you do it cleverly and, in a timely way. Even customer service and the user experience itself can benefit. Think about clever error messages. Instead of just error 404, maybe something funny, YouTube used to have that trained monkeys page. Diffuses frustration.
Yeah, it turns a negative into something memorable, maybe even shareable.
Exactly. Gamification is another area. Spotify Wrapped is a great example. Turns your listening data into this fun, personalized, highly shareable experience. And social media, of course, is probably the most natural playground for humor. User-generated content campaigns asking for funny submissions, or just having a witty personality in your posts and replies. Live streaming with personality works too.
This all sounds fantastic, super engaging, but here's the potential minefield, isn't it? What one person finds hilarious, another might find, well, offensive or just plain dumb. How do you make sure your humor actually lands well with your specific audience? Avoid the crickets, or worse?
This is absolutely critical. You nailed it. The golden rule is know who you're talking to intimately.
Yeah.
Different generations, different cultural backgrounds, they respond to vastly different types of humor. Gen Z might love absurdist memes. Boomers might prefer more traditional wordplay or puns. You have to tailor it. And cultural sensitivity is paramount. What's funny in the U.S. might be deeply offensive somewhere else. Walmart apparently learned that the hard way when their very American-style store greetings didn't land well in Germany. They came across as insincere.
Right, so cultural context is key.
Huge. And you also need to balance the humor with your overall brand identity. A luxury brand probably isn't going to use slapstick, right? They might go for subtle, sophisticated wit. A lifestyle brand, on the other hand, can probably be much more overtly playful. There's that Finnish military gear store, Varusteleka. They use really dark, specific humor that perfectly fits their products and resonates with their very specific audience. It works for them.
That's a great example of knowing your niche. So knowing all that, what are the real risks here? When humor goes wrong, what are the potential pitfalls for a brand?
Oh, the consequences can be pretty severe.
Yeah.
If you misjudge the context or the audience, what you thought was a connection point can quickly turn into a reputation crisis. The risks include, overstepping social boundaries, falling into cultural traps, maybe trivializing issues that people take very seriously. You sometimes see brands try to be funny during sensitive cultural moments and just completely fail to read the room. Revlon had an instance like that. Or companies trying to use humor to deflect serious criticism, like Huawei attempted, and it just backfires spectacularly.
Yeah.
And the internet has a long memory, right?
Yeah.
A digital misstep can haunt you. So thoughtful implementation is just crucial.
Okay, so tread carefully. Ethically, then, how should brands approach using humor? What are the guidelines to make sure it enhances rather than harms their reputation?
Yeah, this raises an important question. What are the ethical guardrails? First, avoid what some call emotional hijacking, essentially manipulating people's emotions just to make a sale. That feels icky. Be transparent, especially with partnerships or sponsored funny content. And a really good rule of thumb is punch up, not down. Humor should maybe target shared frustrations, poke fun at societal norms, or even be self-deprecating about the brand itself. Never target vulnerable groups. Having an internal humor review process, maybe with a diverse group of team members looking at content before it goes out, can really help catch unintended meanings or potential offenses.
That sounds like a smart process. So you've done your research, you've crafted your witty copy, you've put it out there. How do you actually know if it's working? How do you measure something as subjective as whether a joke landed or not?
Yeah, it seems subjective, but like any marketing strategy, you absolutely have to measure it. Quantitatively, you can look at things like engagement rates. Humor often leads to longer dwell times on pages, maybe 40% longer, some studies suggest. So monitor time on page, bounce rates, and of course, conversion rates. A/B testing different humorous approaches against a control is key. You also track social metrics. Shares, mentions, comments, overall organic reach. Is it generating buzz? Is the sentiment positive?
Okay, so hard numbers and social listening.
Right. And qualitatively, you can use sentiment analysis tools to scan comments and reviews for emotional tone. Or you can just ask. Run direct surveys asking customers how they perceive your brand's voice. For bigger brands with bigger budgets, there are even neuroscientific tools becoming more accessible, like EEG or eye tracking, to literally see how people react physiologically. But the main goal isn't just about immediate sales from one funny ad. It's about measuring humor's long-term effect on brand perception, brand loyalty, and ultimately, customer lifetime value.
We've covered a ton of ground today. Wow. From that really precise, data-driven targeting and automated offers to, well, the surprising strategic power of a good joke. It really feels like the future of e-commerce isn't solely about what you're selling, but maybe more about how you sell it, how you connect and create an actual experience.
Absolutely, I think that's spot on. The e-commerce businesses that are really going to thrive are the ones mastering both sides of that coin. The intelligent, efficient, data-driven optimization and that authentic human connection. Humor, used strategically, is this potent psychological tool. It triggers those positive neurochemicals we talked about, enhancing memory, building trust, forging that emotional bond with your brand. You can weed it through the whole customer journey. And at the same time, you use those smart data-driven tools, perhaps like Growth Suite offers, to precisely target the right buyers, recover carts, optimize discounts, protect your margins, and drive that growth efficiently.
So, for everyone listening, thinking about their own online businesses, what's maybe one final provocative thought you'd leave them with, something to chew on?
Okay. I'd say this. In the e-commerce world that's getting ever more crowded, ever more automated, perhaps the truest differentiator you have is humanizing your brand. There's that old copywriting saying, often attributed to John Caples, people don't buy from clowns. And that's true. But they absolutely do buy from brands that make them smile, brands that connect with them on a human level, while also effectively solving their problems. Strategic humor, combined with smart, data-informed tools, that combination helps your e-commerce business do exactly that. It can turn a simple transaction into something memorable, something that builds real loyalty.
Brilliant. What a deep dive into e-commerce psychology. Hopefully, you've just gained a serious shortcut to understanding how to make your online store really connect and stand out.
Yeah, we really hope this has given you plenty to think about and maybe some concrete ideas to implement.
And just one last reminder, if you are looking to put some of those smart, data-driven discount strategies into action and really boost your Shopify store's performance, definitely check out Growth Suite. It's designed to help you run those intelligent discount campaigns that truly convert, optimizing offers based on actual customer behavior. You can test it out completely free on your Shopify store. Just head over to the Shopify App Store now, search for Growth Suite, and give it a try for free. Until next time, keep learning and keep diving deep.